and welcome to your Morning Meds. My name is Melissa Romero, and for today's Morning Meds, have you ever felt lost or unclear or plateaued or anything of that sort? So for today's Morning Meds, we're going to talk about the importance of asking for guidance. All right? Because I know I've felt all of those things, and I still till this day get in those moments where I feel like I am just not clear about a specific situation. And in those moments, and I'm not constant and I'm not like 100% always on point with it, and I've been really working on it. But the only thing that I always feel helps me in those situations, in those moments of need, for clarity, for just what direction. I don't see the path clearly ahead of me. What direction do I take? The one thing that always seems to work, and that's always super effective, is just praying and asking for guidance. And sometimes that prayer seems very peaceful, very gentle, and I'm in front of my altar and I get into my prayer and I ask for guidance. And sometimes it's in the middle of some serious shit and I am just done with the lesson and I am done going through this, and I get down on my knees crying tears and ugly crying, and I say, God, let me see. Give me guidance. Let me see what it is that I have to see in order to not continue to learn this lesson. Let me see what it is that I have to see. Where is this little girl hurting? Where is this pain coming from? Let me heal it so that I can move forward, so that I no longer have to learn this lesson. And maybe you're not done with the lesson and you have to learn it in another ways. And sometimes it's not that ugly. Sometimes it's not that dramatic, right? Sometimes it's just like, whew, I really feel like I'm kind of plateaued right now. I want some guidance as to what to do to move forward, right? In my life, in my job, in my personal relationships, whatever it is. I want to know, what do I have to do to level up in this situation? So asking for guidance is so important, and that's what my message for you today is. But the thing about asking for guidance, the key to asking for guidance, is being open to receiving the guidance, right? It's being open to seeing where the guidance is coming from. Now, this reminds me of a funny story, right? There's this guy, right? I'm going to tell you probably know this story. When I start, you'll probably be like, I've heard this story before. But if you haven't, this is a great story. So there's this guy, right? And there's a flood in his state, in his town. There's a huge flood. And so he's on the roof of his house, right? And he's praying and he's in prayer and he's in prayer. And then all of a sudden, this guy in a Robo comes by. And he's like, yo, come in the Robo. I'm gonna bring you to safety. And the guy's like, no. I'm praying to God, and I have faith. He's gonna save me. All right, cool. So the guy takes off. And the guy goes back into prayer, deep into prayer. He's like, God, come on, save me. We got this. And this guy in a motorboat comes by. And he's like, yo, come on, let's go. I'm gonna bring you to safety. And the guy's like, no, I'm praying to God. I've got faith. He's gonna save me. The guy in the motorboat's like, all right, cool. So the guy takes off and he's like praying. And he's deep in prayer and he's like, God, come on, you're going to save me. All of a sudden, a helicopter comes. Throws down a rope, and they're yelling down at him like, yo, come on, let's go. We're going to bring you to safety. And the guy's like, no, it's cool. I'm praying to God. I have faith. He's going to save me. So the helicopter is like, all right, cool. So they take off. All of a sudden, the flood gets higher. It overtakes the house. It's over the roof of the house, and the man drowns. So he drowns, and needless to say, he dies. And so he's in line. He's like, all right, everybody's talking to God, telling him their concerns with this life. And he's in line, and it's his turn to talk to God. And he goes to God. He's like, bro, what happened? He's like, I prayed. I had faith. You let me die. You let me down. I had faith in you. I don't understand. And God's like, bro, I sent you a Robo, a motorboat, and a helicopter. What else do you want me to do? So the point of this story is that, yeah, we pray for guidance, right? But what if we're not open to receiving the guidance? If we have a picture of what this guidance is supposed to look like, we're never going to receive the guidance. So the key to asking for guidance, for divine guidance, is to be open to accepting it however it shows up. So it could show up as a motorboat, a rowboat, or a helicopter. Who knows how it's going to show up? However it shows up, you have to be open to and surrendering to however it shows up, you receiving that guidance. It's not going to show up the way you think it's going to show up. Or maybe it will. Who knows? But the point is, when you're in need, when you're plateaued, when you lack clarity, whenever you're going through anything, ask for guidance. And then be open to receiving the guidance in whichever way it shows up. That's my message for you today. Love to love you. Peace.
If you enjoyed today's topic or today's show, don't forget to click on the subscribe button. Love to love you.